Good morning and welcome back to the channel. My name is AD. This is my garage that's as always full of crap, and that's my driveway with the Renault 8 on. Yeah, so you may have seen some of my other videos briefly with a massive smoking issue and tap-in issue, which turns out was probably me because there was next to no oil in the engine. So I've chucked a bit in there and it's gone quieter. We do need to sort it out in the future. So yeah, the plan was always to swap it out to a bigger engine, probably a 1397 from a Renault 5 or 1390, maybe even a 1200 from a Renault 12. So she's always breathed a little bit heavy, so I'm not too fussed about that. But she's breathed enough where I've actually used up a load of the oil, not realised, thought the engine was getting tappy, went gung-ho, reset the tappets, cleaned everything down, and then wondered why the thing was smoking like a chimney, which turns out that there's my dirty part. I actually feel that when I'm cleaning spark plugs, scrub them off, drop them in there and let them clean up. I've also sprayed in the bores because I was spraying the side of the head to clean off any residue when I had no spark plugs in, so they would have filled up with brake cleaner as well, which I assume was the smoking, because I've ran it this morning with an extra litre of oil in it. It's gone pretty quiet. The smoking's pretty much non-existent now, though we have got a bit of blow by, which it's always had. So what I'm actually going to do now is jack the car up. I'm going to chuck an oil and filter on it, make sure there's no shit in the oil itself by catching it in a little pot and just having a quick look over it, see if we can see anything. And fingers crossed, she's got a few more miles left and we can keep on motoring until we actually build a new engine for it. Plan was always to get this to Retro Rides Gathering in August, so that's the target. And if I can do that without pulling this engine and get there as is, that'd be great, because then it gives me the winter essentially to build an engine, source all the bits I'm going to need and get it in there. Right, let's crack on. I'm going to get it up and drop the oil out the back, which is pretty simple on these. I'm just going to drive it on the ramp, slide my oil catch tank underneath and drop the oil out. Easy peasy. So it's pretty easy to do an oil change on the Renault 8 up on some ramps at the back, even though we are a lot lower than normal cars. Get everything set up. As you can see, yeah, she's a little bit damp down there, which explains where some of the oil has gone. Again, not too fussed. All this is going to be coming out in the future, and we'll put a nice clean newer engine in with a bit more horsepower. So yeah, we'll give this a good clean off, we'll drain the oil out and see where we're at. Ooh, not sure what size plug that is, but it's a little bit bigger than the normal one. Got the oil draining out, it's nearly done. Caught a bit. Right, excuse the mess as always. I do like to sometimes catch a bit of the oil. It's like panning for gold. Make sure there's nothing majorly glistening in there. Can't see anything myself. No chunks, no lumps. Can't make out if that's just dust in there. Well, you never know. Well, some fresh oil, new filter. We'll see how she goes. If she dies, she dies. She's running smooth again after I obviously topped her up. But yeah, the plan going forward was always to put a bigger engine in. But ideally I didn't want to do it now. So if I can keep her running at least till the end of August, September, I should be able to start buying up the bits that I need. Ideally 1390 or 1397 Renault 5 engine should drop in on the engine mounts anyway. I'm going to have to mess about with the gearbox side of things I think I've got an older gearbox in here, so that'll need changing or some modifying to accept the 1397. But yeah, right, I'll get the filter off, I'll put some fresh fluid in there, we'll get it all nipped up and we'll give her a start and see what happens and go from there. Right, filter off. New. Right, filter off. New washer on the sump plug ready to go. It's been draining for a long while. We got some decent filters. Pure Flux filter LS169B. I need to put some oil in that. Let's do this all one-handed. We've got some super cheap classic Manol oil. We're going to get back in there. I mean, realistically, this is going to either run forever and a day still. Put a little bit in there. Or I've completely knackered it running it low already. In which case, the engine's done and dusted. We'll chuck a couple of quid's worth of oil and filter on and see where we're at. Fingers crossed. She lasts another few months of use, and it's not you know, terminal. Like I said, the tapping noise was at the top. I'm hoping that being the furthest part away on the oil circuit was the first bit to start making noise. There's no shiny bits in the oil, so fingers crossed the bottom end's fine, and yeah, I caught it in time. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, get this in and start it up. So yeah, we're up and running, loads quieter, so as you can see, that is blow by there. I think it's an awful lot passing out of the rocker cover. So she's not a 100% engine, but she's actually seems to still run okay. Looks like I'll get a few more miles out of it yet. Yeah, well, we'll keep on going till it stops, I guess. No smoke out the exhaust. Yeah, doing alright. Yeah, she'll go again for a few more miles. I'm going to take her for a test drive. Hopefully all is good. I can deal with that. I will now start sourcing the engine and all the other bits that I might need to do an engine swap. I really, you know, if I'm going to go to the effort of working on it, I might as well upgrade it at the same time rather than just go for the same size engine back in. A few extra ponies would be nice in the car just to keep up with modern traffic. Yeah, no warning lights, though the only two warning lights I have are oil pressure, which hasn't come on, and alternator. She's sat idling nice and quietly enough. I'll chuck the air filter on, take for a spin. Right, back once again, like the Renegade Master. Carrying on with the Renault 8, just doing a little bit more investigation. What we're going to do is, even though it's up and running fine, bar the massive amounts of blow by, we're going to give it a quick compression check just to see where it's at, just out of interest really. Ideally, like I said before, I'd like to swap it out to a bigger unit, but if we can keep this one going for a couple of months more, that'd be great. Could even be potentially just a gasket that's gone, head gasket maybe, but highly doubt that. I'm leaning more towards it being a piston ring issue or piston issue, but let's give it a compression check, see where it comes in at, and go from there. just over 8 bar. Ah, you bastard. Eight and a half bar ish. Just under 9 bar. Just over 9 bar. So literally that bar between front and back. Let's get it back in the front one just to double check that one. Yeah, 8.5 bar, so 1 bar between all 4 cylinders. That one is the lowest, but not massively at all really. Like a couple of PSI between them. Nothing I genuinely worry, or, yeah, generally worry about. Yeah, so yeah, not mentally bad at all. Not sure what these are supposed to be. Investigation continues. Thank you to my helper. Right, the head's off and it's a mess. Yeah, well, to be fair, it is as is. I'm surprised it's run as well as it has done. And yeah, something's been through it, and there is literally a hole down the side of the piston there. So this is a proper write-off. There's no, well, I suppose you could salvage it, new pistons and liners. Where's the torch? Oh no, just dropped my thing.
I took it there.
That's fine. Right. So yeah, there's a massive gap down the side of the piston. That will explain all the blow-by. To be fair, I'm surprised it ran as well as it did. Not sure what's gone through it, but something definitely has. There's loads of shrapnel in that one too, plus a hole down the sides. There's a few holes down the side of that one too. There's shrapnel in that one. It could have been just fallout from taking it out though. But there's definite damage there. And a lot of damage there. So for now, we're going to call it a day on this engine. Contemplate what we need to do and decide whether we rebuild or upgrade. But yeah, good going. Join me on the next episode. If you can, like and subscribe. And hopefully we'll be rebuilding this. Bearing in mind I'm meant to be driving this to Retro Rides Gathering in August at Mallory Park, which is 100 miles each way for me, and I'm not sure this engine's going to make it. Right, next time.